We begin today, obviously, with Tom Brady declaring his retirement exactly 1 year to the day after he retired the first time. This time, Brady said, quote, "I'm retiring for good," unquote. He announced it on social media at 8:12 this morning. I guess he didn't tell his podcast partner, Jim Gray, first. Wilbon, what do you think of Brady's decision, when he made it, and how he communicated it?
Well, this is a retirement. And, you know, last week, we can get the tape if you'd like to, and you said you got Brady playing again, and I said to you, no,
Right.
This is it.
That's right.
This is it. And, you know, Tony, you and I have made fun for years of guys saying they want to spend more time with their families. Because we would say, ask your family, because we know them, and they've told us they don't want to spend any time with you. And we've joked about
That's
it,
right.
and we've joked about each other's families and our own families and children and wives saying, get out, and we've done that. But last year, Tom Brady didn't retire. Tom Brady was moved into retirement, and we all know the public circumstance of that now. But Tom Brady was moved there. He didn't want to be there. He wanted to play one more year. So he played it. He did it. And now he's retired. I felt during the year, toward the end of it, when you see his expression on the sideline, the camera would catch him. He was grateful. He's always seemed appreciative. He's always, even when he's yelling at his teammates, loved them and they love him back. But it seems it's over. He's 45. He's going to be 46. Enough. And I did not think he would play, and this does not come as a surprise. But my God, like at some point, you've got to stop. Even the GOAT has to stop. It was a wonderful way to do it. Pick up a camera, look into it, announce it, and he's probably on a golf course right now.
So let me talk about the way he communicated it, that he went on social media and he had his own scoop. If I were the president of Fox Sports and I had contractually agreed to give Tom Brady $375 million over the next 10 years to talk about football on television, I'd be a little upset that I missed this one, that I didn't get this one first. But Brady is very, very savvy on social media, and he knows that to do that at 8 o'clock in the morning, he owns it. So the next question becomes easy. Does it stick? Do we believe it?
Yeah.
You believe it.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you this.
Yes.
I guarantee this is true. Sometime around May or June, Tom Brady will get the itch to play again, because they all do. They all get that itch. The last time he had that itch, he scratched it by going back to Tampa Bay. This time, he's under no contract. He can do what he wants, and he might look at the San Francisco 49ers with a certain amount of longing. Yeah. Because as Steve Young told us, Mike, retirement is death.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying he's going to come back. I'm not saying that, but I think he's going to want to come back a little bit. I think the reason he got out is because he could see he was throwing the ball, and hundreds of passes went in the ground or sailed past people. Even though he threw for nearly 5,000 yards, even though he had 2 miracle last-minute comebacks, I think he felt his athleticism, his superiority had slipped. Because, you know, you can fool others, Mike, but you can't fool yourself. And I think he probably came to the conclusion that it's not going to be a material change for the better at age 46.
Well, he did.
So
then what are you talking about comebacks? He did exactly, he went through the process you're talking about. Because he's throwing it in the dirt. He knows the pitch is now bouncing in like a split finger. He's Tom Brady. He gets that. So, no, he's not coming back. And again, to go back one more time to family, he's got children who, at least a couple of which appear to be on the East Coast. Why is he going to go west? This has been a tumultuous year for him already with all this stuff, public family things that he didn't want to deal with publicly. And now, why would you come back and do that and put yourself through that when you've already won more Super Bowls, you've had more accolades than anybody except Bill Russell in the history of American sports? No, Tony, he's not coming back.
We'll turn our attention to his GOATness. He has won 7 Super Bowls and played in 10. He has all the meaningful career passing records, both in the regular season and the postseason. Most completions, most yardage, most touchdowns. He has won 35 playoff games. The next closest guy, perhaps you've heard of him, Joe Montana. He's 19 behind him, and he's not walking through that door anymore.
No, he's not.
Wilbon, surely you don't think anyone can catch Brady?
I'm not going to say anyone ever. It's not going to happen in my lifetime or yours. I'll speak for both of us. It's not. Because somebody'd have to be like in college now, and by the time he finished it, he'd need so much time, he'd have to play at least 40. And so, no, you and I ain't seeing that. Somebody may see it.
That's right.
Our boys may see it, right? They could see that. I'm not going to say it's not going to ever happen. There could be some wonderkind who comes along, particularly now, Tony. Tom Brady had to play the first half of his career at a time where a defensive lineman it was great hearing Chris Canty tell the story today, could knock the hell out of you. The next kid who comes along isn't going to have that. He ain't going to have
That's
that.
right.
It's like, you know, you can score 50 every night in the NBA now because you ain't got that. Michael Jordan had that, all right? So no, I'm not going to sit here and say it's never, ever, ever going to happen. I think it could. Unlikely.
I'm just going to go back to one thing on a personal note with you. You revere John Elway above everybody. You think he's the greatest quarterback who ever played.
I had.
And he had good teams.
I had. Montana.
He went to 5.
Elway and Montana.
This guy went to 10.
Yeah.
This guy went to 10. Okay. So the thing about Brady is the greatness, I think he's actually underrated sometimes because of the nature of football versus other sports. In other sports like basketball and hockey, for example, where great people have come out, like Gretzky and Russell and Jordan, in those sports, one dominating player can be out there long enough to shape the game because he is competing against fewer people on the field. Brady, you know, sat out half the game because he's on the offense. And I think in football, Mike, we tend to venerate the team rather than the player.
Yeah.
But Tom Brady's accomplishments, because you look at, you know, I know you love Russell and Gretzky and Jordan, but again, it's easier to win in those sports. It's 4 out of 7 in those sports.
Yeah.
In football, it's just well, look at San Francisco the other day.
Yeah.
Their quarterback got hurt. They're out of the playoffs. In another sport, you go, okay, we get them again tomorrow.
Well,
so it's just harder.
Tony, you're measuring something. Yes. Let me just say to what you're saying, yes. Brady did. I'm not going to argue against Brady being the GOAT. That's a waste of time.
Right.
I see a group of athletes I'm going to put out that I marveled at in a way I never marveled at Brady. I'm going to say that includes Wilt, Jordan, Gretzky, Ali. They were marvels. They were physical wonders. Brady wasn't that. But it doesn't mean Brady isn't the GOAT. Brady is the GOAT.
Right.
And what he did was different. I'm just saying those guys to me had something. Brady had other things, but he didn't have that thing.
I think, well, again, Brady is playing in a sport where there's 11 guys on the side and 22 on the field at any given time. Brady won Super Bowls in his 20s, his 30s, and his 40s. Yes. That's unbelievable.
Yes.
It's simply unbelievable. He ought to get credit for that.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Amazing.
Is anybody out there stupid enough not to give him credit?
No.
Because if they are, they should be clicked off or stop streaming them, you youngsters.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.